Hello, are you treble phobic? Do you hate that annoying sibilance? Does sparkling cymbals make you angry or tired? If answer is yes, I've got a solution for you. Today for review I've got Shozy V33, relatively recently released in-ear monitors by Shozy. And as I've said before in my previous reviews, Shozy always means some unusual sound and some unusual tuning. And V33 is not an exception. As you can easily guess by this number and by the design of the box, 33 named after the old vinyl players, so it's kind of tribute to that old LP times. There are two versions of this in-ear monitors, regular and Pro. As far as I know, the difference is cable. Pro version has a silver-plated copper cable, while regular version has regular copper. And of course also price, there is a difference in price. Regular version costs $50 and Pro is $75. I don't know the difference between those two versions. I've got a Pro version today for today's review. Links to the shop will be in description, and now let's have a closer look. In terms of design of the box, as you know, there are a lot of small touches and small nuances that shows that Shozy really do care about the presentation. There are a lot of inexpensive and affordable in-ear monitors in the under $100 range, but usually you will get this oversized matchbox like box, few pair of tips, and that's all. And here I will show you few interesting details that illustrate the attention that designers put into the creating of this product. Take a look at this shape. As you can see, cables here on the image forming the shape of the head with ears. I will show a bit later why it's important. So box is made of cardboard. It's basic but really stylish. Nice polygraphy, traces of design, and on the back side some additional information, design highlights, and of course the most important thing is specifications. 20 Hz, 20 kHz, 107 decibels of sensitivity, 16 ohms of impedance. Here mentioned high purity copper cable, but this version is Pro, so I think they're just using the same box. And because the copper version has black cable and this one is with silver. Inside there is additional information about it, and you can see that here used the same shape that we've seen on the box. A bit rounded, but it's still that head with ears. Also you will have this cardboard mini vinyl. Just two pair of additional tips and earphones with cables themselves. So of course a few additional tips would be a big plus, but we've got what we've got. I think for this price range it's still, well, not good, but acceptable. In terms of design and build quality, Shozy V33 is also really nice. Unusual stainless steel case, mirror like finish, nice sense of weight, and that fancy plastic face plates reminding also old vinyl. I really like this idea. It looks pretty stylish, and especially with combined with this stainless steel. They are really small and fitting nicely into the ears. You can wear them cable down, you can wear them over the ear, so both versions are possible and comfortable. Spouts are short, but sound isolation is about average because shell itself contribute to sound isolating, and it works as an ear plug to reduce the sound, so it's average sound isolation. I expected less when I look at the photos. There is a lip for holding tips, protective grill, so nothing will damage your driver. And let's put tips back. color of strain reliefs here shows the channel, so red one is right. Stock cable is nice, it's average in terms of softness, not super soft, not super hard, something in between. It has slight microphonic effect, but it's really small, and over-the-ear wearing allows you to minimize its impact. It's not getting hard when it's cold. Pretty attractive cable, nicely looking, really durable. Splitter with chin slider, and after the splitter it goes way down to the regular 3.5mm jack. As you can see, splitter, jack and earphones have similar steel design, and it looks pretty consistent. So in terms of design, in terms of durability, in terms of presentation, I think it's really good price to output ratio. And of course about the sound. As I said in the introduction, these in-ear monitors have noticeably recessed treble, so basically they are tailored for those who like mids and bass, but not the upper frequencies. And if you remember, there was a pretty popular model Shozy V, and V33 is like sequel to that model, but executed on the higher level, let's say. So they require about 20 or 25 hours of burn-in, also a proper tip selection, probably some third-party tips, but I've got a pretty good seal with the biggest stock tips. Of course we need some DAP on the table to provide an examples, and let's proceed. In terms of mids and bass, V33 is, it's probably not perfectly, but really well-tuned dynamic driver in-ear monitors. They offer everything that good dynamic drivers can offer. Nice resolution, great balance of weight, really weighty representation, really coherent, really lifelike, and all other things that dynamic drivers are capable of. Of course, bass is nice, it's not accented actually, so they are on the darker side, but they are not warm, so they are not bassy per se. It's just linear, really well balanced bass with good resolution, good good texturing, with really good depth and surprisingly nice control of the deeper layers of bass. Bass is not accented, as I've said before, so don't expect, huge, meaty, weighty bass. Weight is just about what is recorded you will get, but no additional bass. So if you're looking for some bass head model, it's not an option. As an example of bass, I've got Daft Punk and I've got track Motherboard. So nice juicy bass here, and V33 plays it in a really enjoyable way and building the solid foundation for the whole tune. Bass is perfectly transitioning to the mid frequencies, but of course it's what we can expect because there is no crossover, no multi-drivers, so no issues with transitions, no issues with incoherence. So, and mids are also have a slight touch of worms. They are resolving, but they don't going into the micro detalization like balanced armatures do, for example. So don't expect that they will highlight any single nuance. They will play it, but they won't highlight it. And at the same time you will get perfect body for the instruments, really good weighty vocal, and it's pretty enjoyable. So what else I can say? Imaginary stage is about average both in width and in depth, with nice layering. And what is surprising here, when I was selecting example tracks for this in-ear monitors, I've thought that I will select some female vocal and I will describe that because of recessed treble they are lacking overtones and something like that. But surprisingly no, female vocal sounding pretty nice too. Maybe not the highest pitched ones, but anyway, I've got an example for that. Where is my playlist with examples? It's Nino Katamasze, famous Georgian jazz singer. That Georgia that is in the no, not the state of Georgia, but the country of Georgia. So it's Georgian jazz singer with unique voice timbre, with unique manner of performance. I really recommend her to any jazz lover, especially if you like jazz with ethnic touch. It's a great example. And of course, probably the most famous Georgian song, it's Suliko, rearranged in jazz style, and actually Shozy V33 managed to represent female vocal also in a really impressive way, as they did with almost everything that hit into the mid frequencies. Really engaging and musical representation. And treble. Actually, treble is also pretty good. They are natural, they have normal attacks and decays, but they are reduced. Actually, they are almost cut in the above 5-6 kHz area. Well, not probably cut, but noticeably reduced. Just pretty big and noticeable drop off there. So, and that gives this in-ear monitors their unique characteristic. I am actually a treble fan, so I'm liking treble here, but you know, it's a matter of subjective preferences. If you want more treble, you can just look for some other model. But if you're looking for the mid and bass forward representation, if you don't like harsh and sibilant treble, you definitely need to listen to this model. And as an example, I've got one of my best tracks for motivation, actually not here, it's in playlists. It's Reckless Love, Monster. Of course, I'm speaking about motivation, I don't mean the lyrics, just the music. Really energetic hard rock or pop rock. Actually, it's kind of hard rock, but not really hard, kind of mixed with pop music. Really energetic, really engaging, and here actually I miss a bit of aggression that distorted guitars should have, and actually it's the main. Actually, it's not an issue, how to say it. It's a feature, you know, issue it's when it's not intended, but here they are just tuned to sound this way. So, in terms of pairing, they play pretty nice with smartphones, but of course some entry level or even entry mid level DAP will be beneficial for them. They don't require a ton of driving power, and in terms of genre and styles, they are pretty universal, but of course you need to be aware that they have reduced treble. So, subjectively, I don't like this representation for the classical music, for heavy metal, but I like it for the classical rock, for jazz, for pop music, for electronic music. It's pretty enjoyable. I won't do any comparisons this time because, you know, it's a really rare case of in-ear monitors with reduced treble. There are some bass heavy and dark in-ear monitors, but usually this is achieved by rising low frequencies. The Shozy V33 is kind of unique in this matter because here darker sound achieved by reducing the treble, and I can't recall any single model with similar tuning, maybe on just Shozy Zero, but this model is noticeably better in all aspects, especially in the mid balance. So, sorry, but this time comparisons are almost useless. So, it was Shozy V33 and pretty unusual in-ear monitors tuned for those who like mids and bass but not treble. Thank you for attention.